This is a human being. Look, guys, there's two things that I propose. You guys can go back
do those headlines imply that Charlie's a racist or a misogynist? Yes or no?
Now I talk. Now I talk.
Oh, they don't?
Enough with the accusing and then not letting me talk.
For the second time, this is a bit of a rematch.
Yeah.
Cenk versus Dave Rubin, obviously old friends. And at one point, Dave Rubin actually worked at TYT under Cenk Uygur. That was like the first serious TYT drama, is when Rubin left the Young Turks. But then it really got juicy a couple years later when Anna decided to go on the warpath and open up and expose the reality about why Dave Rubin left the Young Turks, which in her telling of the story was because he wasn't getting paid enough. And he was like demanding to be paid more than basically any other host of the Young Turks. And when they refused, he decided to jump ship. And of course, that also came after a pretty intense argument where Rubin was sticking up for Israel. And Cenk actually at the time obviously was, criticizing them. And this might have been like, 2013, 2014, around that horrific bombardment of the Gaza Strip that Obama basically just like let Israel get away with. I think that's when Cenk really lost it. And Dave Rubin was like fucking, defending Israel. But either way, that's all, many years in the past. Here they are reunited for the second time on Piers Morgan. The first time was really, really intense. Cenk was not in a forgiving mood. And this time it got just about as crazy.
Hell yeah, I haven't seen this yet. I saw that our good friend of the show, Hank, hit our DMs about this the moment it happened, and then I promptly forgot all about it because I was deep down the rabbit hole about the Charlie Kirk shooter. So super excited to take something in that's at least only tangentially related to the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Yep, 100%. Let's take a look.
Took white people's spots. Charlie Kirk boasts out here.
I really do fear about what is going on.
Well, Piers, it's not even that it's about his actual opinions. It's about the opinions that many thought leaders on the left purport that he has, which are complete lies. So look, I am in somewhat of a reconciliatory mode here. So I'd like to ask Cenk, I have 10 headlines here he has put up about Charlie Kirk. They are on his channel right now. And let's see if Cenk believes that these are true. Charlie Kirk says prominent black women took white people's spots. Charlie Kirk boasts about his all-white basketball team. Charlie Kirk gives piggish advice to high school girls.
This is all true, by the way, 100% true.
It's all true. And also to say that, like, even if you don't agree with the analysis, to say that those are any different than the kind of videos that Dave Rubin fucking has made throughout his career. Like, yeah, Cenk makes fun of, or at least used to make fun of fucking idiot right-wingers. People like Dave Rubin make fun of who they consider to be idiot left-wingers. That's just like the name of the fucking game. That's just the industry.
Yep.
Ex-employee exposes Charlie Kirk's grift. Charlie Kirk embarrasses himself. Charlie Kirk's brain melts explaining anti-vax conspiracy. Charlie Kirk rants about women in their 30s. Charlie Kirk has literally no clue how the real world works. Charlie Kirk gets triggered, declines appearance over pronouns. Charlie Kirk doubles down on women-hating backlash. I am telling you, Piers, Charlie Kirk was one of the best human beings I ever met. He did not have a bone of racism, misogyny, or anything else in his body. But liars lie, and they gin up otherwise good people. From the little bit we know about this shooter, he had a stable household. He was going to college. He was fine. We'll find out where he got radicalized. But
and again, to act like Charlie Kirk isn't the one who obviously was doing that role, playing that role of ginning up and, radicalizing otherwise normal, decent people. That was literally Charlie Kirk's whole fucking job. And I'm not here to defend everything that Cenk Uygur says and does. Obviously not. We're the fucking vanguard. We've endlessly criticized the man and his network. But again, to act like it's not Charlie Kirk who literally did that professionally, riling up fucking racist white people, making them feel like they need to be afraid of some minority scapegoat or blame that minority scapegoat because life isn't working out the way they wanted to. Like, that was his whole fucking job, ginning up otherwise decent people, radicalizing them, turning them into monsters.
1,000,000%. And here's just a 20-second clip of him doing just that.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
So, he never said anything racist. He only had the utmost respect for black and brown women.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, totally fucking insane. And honestly, in a way, it was even more like the contributions that Charlie Kirk made in that vein were even more horrific and damaging to society than like a Nick Fuentes, for example, because it was so disguised this. Oh, I'm so polite. I'm so normal. I'm just like the guy at, you know, your office job or whatever. Like, I'm just a totally normal, sanitized guy. I'm not a crazy Nazi. I'm just normal, you know, just like fucking Dave Rubin just parroted. It's almost more nefarious because it gives, actually normal people the permission to repeat that shit. And it makes them feel like, oh, well, if this, you know, polite, you know, well-spoken, you know, clean-shaven young man is saying these Nazi talking points, then I guess they can't really be Nazi talking points. When you're watching Nick Fuentes, at least you have to confront the reality of what you're consuming. Nazi propaganda, right? With Charlie Kirk, it's a little bit more sophisticated.
1,000,000%.
Please, let's not pretend we don't know where this stuff is coming from. And please, let's not pretend that this thing is going both ways, because it is absolutely not. I also have well, you know what, Cenk, I'll ask you a question directly, actually. Do you think Charlie wanted to be martyred? Do you think Charlie wanted to be martyred? Do you think Charlie wanted to be killed? Yes or no?
Of course not. What kind of asinine question is that?
You don't? Because that's pretty interesting. Because here's a video of you, Cenk, talking when Charlie was at a breakfast.
For these guys, and they don't deserve it. But I do also want to point out, as they're in the middle of crying now, although Charlie was smiling ear to ear throughout the entire video, thinking, yes, I'm now the victim, and I'll get to claim that my rights have been abridged.
Did you catch the beginning of that, Cenk? Listen, we'll do it again.
No, I didn't, and that's totally out of. No, we're not going to do it again. Totally out of context. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
No. Listen, brother.
Are you trying to get harm on me?
Second.
Is that what you're trying to do,
clown.
you loser? Jesus Christ!
No. I'm trying to
do conciliation.
Exactly what
this
people
guy,
like you
look at the last
done.
two things of the last two guests.
Piers.
Jesus,
what they said was, yes, we should have reconciliation, but it is not without any contrition, right? It's not without a mea culpa. Charlie was accosted by Antifa at a breakfast in Philadelphia, and the video that I just played is you with a cartoon of him as Charlie Brown.
Oh my God. He's going to say, because some guys came up to Charlie that identified as Antifa, and Jake said, oh, look, he loves to play the victim. He loves to pretend that he's persecuted. Dave Rubin's going to come out here and pretend that means that Cenk was arguing that Charlie wanted to be killed. I mean, this is insane to argue that. And again, Gavin has already mentioned we are the two biggest Cenk haters on the entire internet, but this is just absolutely nonsense from Dave Rubin. And also, I'm sorry, but you're never winning an argument playing some fucking crunchy audio from your phone when you're on Piers Morgan's broadcast. You either send it to the producer and get him to play it over the main fucking mic, or you fucking sit on it, bro. I'm sorry, but that was an L.
Yeah, 100%. Also, again, it just blows my mind that all these people that claim to care about free speech consistently resort to this stupid fucking line. It's like, again, as I said the other day on the show, even if the shooter was a fucking huge TYT fan, even if they consume nothing but left-wing media 24/7, that's not the fucking fault of any of the left-wing media personalities involved. Crazy people are going to find shit to become radicalized by, whether it's The Catcher in the Rye or A Clockwork Orange or, you know, whatever the fuck news media they're consuming. If you're that fucked up in the head that you can do something like that, yeah. And that's not to say that people don't have to face consequences for what they say if they're genuinely calling for acts of violence, but that's not happening on the Young Turks. That's not fucking happening in 99.9% of left-wing media. So again, even if this kid did turn out to be the #1 fucking member of Cenk's TYT army, for anyone who actually cares about free speech to be like, well, I guess you're guilty, just proves how unserious you are. It's completely ridiculous.
Yep, great point. Oh, do you want to press play?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Saying that he would love to be martyred so he could be the victim. Well, I guarantee you, his wife, who now doesn't have a husband, and his kids who don't have fathers, did not want him to be martyred.
What you just played isn't what
it's exactly what you said, brother. It's exactly
what you just said it was.
Let's do it again.
No, it isn't.
Let's
we
do
just
it again.
heard it. We just heard it.
It's not.
All right, so
It's not.
No,
Let's do it again.
Cut this crap out.
Come on,
No,
we'll do it again.
Piers, can we
do
talk
it
about
again?
reality? This is something he's going back to like 10
Here we
years.
go.
Well, I think Cenk should be
totally
allowed to respond.
perverting what I said there.
And they don't deserve
It allows for easy martyrdom
but I
for
do
these
also
guys,
think
and they
that
don't
as they're
deserve
in
it.
the
That was when
middle of
Antifa
now,
was going after him at a breakfast in
Okay, so let's
Philadelphia.
let Cenk respond to that.
No, that was about words, you moron. Okay, Jesus Christ, man. All right, so now
Easy
let's get to
martyrdom.
reality, okay? Shut up. Let's get to reality, okay? So your last two guests, while pretending to be conciliatory, one of them started talking about me and started talking about blood on the hands. And then this idiot brings out a...
And again, it's also just so funny to for these right wingers to accuse Cenk of all people to be the ones who radicalize this person. When literally on this show, what have we been criticizing Cenk for? Fucking having beers with Charlie Kirk. Literally the most offensive thing Cenk has done that we've criticized him for yet is go out on the stage at TPUSA event, sit next to Charlie Kirk while he was still alive, do a tee-hee softball bullshit exchange where Cenk said, and now the crowd's going to boo for Mitch McConnell. See, what are we going to not work with these guys? They hate Mitch McConnell too. Whitewashing the image of a totally disgusting propagandist and his whole movement alongside him. It was literally one of the most disgusting things ever. But yeah, it was clear that if anything, Cenk was trying to become friends with Charlie Kirk. He wasn't trying to get the man killed. This is just a crazy line from Dave Rubin.
That's actually a great point, right? And something that I hadn't even thought of. But yeah, they were just on stage together. They were just chilling together. Cenk literally tweeted about how he did go have a beer with Charlie Kirk, right? We were giving him shit. We were like, I'll never have a beer with Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk at that. That's what we were saying. I mean, it's fuck Charlie Kirk to this day, but it wasn't the point we were making the fucking day that he was, well, actually it was the point that we were making the day that he was killed. Long story short, Cenk was crushing beers with the fucking political enemy. I was actually at a coffee shop, PH Coffee, yesterday morning, and this guy was explaining to his parents what happened, and they were like, well, what about that poor boy that got killed? And they were like, their son was like, did you even Google this guy? He was a Nazi youth leader. He was literally running the Nazi youth, and that's what he kept using as like how he was explaining it to his parents. This guy, you guys remember when you were kids, there were these weird fucking skinheads called the Nazi youth? In my day, they're called Charlie Kirk, okay? Nazi youth, Turning Point USA. And you know what I mean? Like, that is just how people describe Charlie. But Cenk went out and he was like, I'll go and have fucking beers with the Nazis. I'll dab that guy up. They booed for Mitch McConnell. Look at that. Charlie got him to boo for Mitch McConnell, man. We agree. I also hate Mitch McConnell. Let's have a beer, bro. Let's have 12. Gavin and I debated which kind of beer it would be, right? That's not a man that's trying to get Charlie killed.
Yeah, exactly. So ridiculous. Again, it's just the if Dave Rubin clearly is not even familiar with like the recent arc Cenk's been on, because the biggest thing Cenk's been having to fucking answer for from his formerly left-wing audience, people like us, is his fraternizing with Charlie Kirk. He's literally been doing the opposite of trying to incite violence against Charlie Kirk. He's been trying to incite beer drinking and camaraderie with the man that you're accusing that he's fucking somehow indirectly murdered. Like, this is so fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Clip from 10 years ago that's about words and is pretending it has to do with violence. No show in America has called for nonviolence more than the Young Turks has. Oh, hey, can I talk? After being accused of terrible things that I didn't come within a million miles of doing. Who did Charlie invite to have these conversations? Me. Why did he invite me if I'm so bad when it comes to these issues? No, it's because Charlie and I understood that we could vehemently disagree. We could, David, let me speak. So we understood that we could have vehement disagreement, and we often did. And look, guys, but without it
Cenk, are you going to delete any of those videos? Are you going to delete any of those videos accusing him of being a white supremacist?
He was a white supremacist.
No, not, because Dave, what you're doing is, Dave, will you let me talk?
Do you think he was a white supremacist?
Piers,
was Charlie a white supremacist?
No.
1,000,000%. Undeniable.
Yeah. This is the most infuriating shit from Dave Rubin. He's not even actually trying to like debate here. He's not actually trying to have any sort of an intellectual dialogue whatsoever. He's just screaming at Cenk. And again, I'm more than happy to criticize Cenk all day long, but this is some bullshit. This is some fucking slander on the part of Dave Rubin, acting like because Cenk Uygur made a bunch of videos like mocking Charlie Kirk back in his golden era, the best content TYT ever made. Again, that would be like saying like Sam Cedar like is responsible for the death because they also made fun of Charlie Kirk. Like, bro, do you genuinely not think that we're allowed to make fun of each other? And if like as someone who proclaims to care about free speech, do you genuinely not think that Cenk Uygur or whoever should have the right to label people that they consider to be white supremacists? Like, you're not for the First Amendment? You don't think that we should be allowed to call other people racist if we believe that to be the case? Even if you disagree, you can put out a video saying that person's actually not a racist and they love black people and yada, yada, yada. But as a free speech person, you don't think that we should be allowed to publicly criticize each other? Like, you literally just want to live in North Korea or some shit? Like, what the fuck is this?
I think another thing that's revealed by this is how deeply ashamed Republicans are and the right wing is of their own views, right? Because one of the things that Charlie Kirk did to make him so popular was be a virulent racist, was come out here and be a fucking Christian nationalist white supremacist, right? That was his brand. If you listen to Charlie, that is why you listen to him, because you like to see a white boy come out who's 6'5" and has all of your like fucking, you know, fucking Protestant, you know, fucking asphyxiation. I was about to say Presbyterian. That's like a specific brand of Protestantism. I'm not very well versed in your
some WASP shit.
Yeah, your WASP shit. Exactly. I'm not well versed in your Christian evangelism, but I know that's why you were signing up to this shit, right? Because you want to hear a guy who's going to bash gay people, who's going to talk about how any black person that succeeds is just a fucking, you know, DEI hire, denigrate them, degrade them, talk about how they don't have the brain processing power of a white person, talk about how he's afraid to get on a plane if there's a black pilot. What the fuck do you call that, everybody? If you can't identify that as racist, I'm sorry, you're a fucking retard. You're fucking dumber than rocks. I'm sorry, but that's the fucking truth. If you can't look at Charlie Kirk, like him, hate him, however you feel about him, and identify that undeniably this man was a white supremacist, then you're fucking stupid. All right? You're dumber than fucking shit. Right? So let's not even fucking waste our time debating that. What's really interesting is that when you describe him in a way that everybody would have ever described him, and when you accurately say these are the things that came out of his mouth verbatim, they have to deny that. They have to say that you're smearing him. They have to say that you're slandering him with his own fucking words because they're not proud of what they believe. They know they have to sugarcoat it. They know they have to dog whistle, because if you actually came out and said, yeah, this guy thinks white people are the best race, that would mean he's a bad person. Oh my gosh, that would mean he actually is all of these things that people have been saying about him posthumously, right? It's crazy.
Oh, listen to me. Listen to me. Well, if you're not going to let me answer, what the hell's the point of this? Okay, listen.
Well, you won't.
So do I still disagree with the things that Charlie said? Of course I do. I'm not changing my opinion on that. And all the titles that you just read were very normal political disagreements. In none of the titles were there call for violence, because there never is on the Young Turks. And I abhor what happened to Charlie. I met his wife. This is a human being. Look, guys, there's two things that I propose. You guys can go back and forth.
Those headlines imply that Charlie's a racist or a misogynist? Yes or no?
No, now I talk. Now I talk.
Oh, they don't?
Enough with the accusing and then not letting me talk. Okay? So listen, this whole idea, both sides are blind. And Piers, you know this better than anyone. I call out Biden and I say, "Our Democrats, are you crazy? He's obviously old. He's obviously lost his faculties," right? And now this absurdity about how the right are all angels. Are we kidding? You guys didn't see January 6th. You didn't see them attacking cops, raiding the Capitol, chanting, "Hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence." But that leads to my point, not that the right is more guilty. And I'm sickened by the trend that has now appeared on the left of violence. I'm sickened by it. So I'm proposing—
What trend on the left of violence?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I hate about Cenk, is like he has to now do this waffle and equivocation thing where it's like, I'm not saying the right is more guilty. I am saying that the right is more guilty. It's the sort of fucking bullshit, hatred and bigotry and division that the right wing puts out there into this fucking world, and specifically onto the internet, that absolutely created the conditions for Charlie Kirk to be assassinated by some terminally online Groyper adjacent fucking furry kid or whatever. And same with all this political violence we're seeing. It's not the fault of the fucking left. The left did not create the conditions for this. So no, Cenk, the right is not— the right is more guilty. You can just be honest about that. You don't have to fall all over yourself blaming the left for shit, just because this guy's sitting here erroneously accusing you of shit that you didn't do.
1,000,000%.
Two things, guys. Well, no way should we ever shut down speech. No way. Not right-wing speech, not left-wing speech. You don't shut it down with the government, and you don't shut it down with violence. So first thing is easy. The second one is hard. First one is on all of our shows, as we do every day, call for nonviolence. The minute you see someone.
Weird, I got a fucking ad from the.
I was like, is that on the fucking Piers Morgan?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this Chiefs game is going to start pretty soon, guys. We're going to have to get out of here.
Oh yeah, it's going
as we do every day.
That was my bad.
Oh, was that?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was the announcer from the Chiefs game. It like popped up to promote that.
Oh, it's going on right now.
Yeah, it started, but that's okay.
Gotcha.
We're all good.
Call for nonviolence. The minute you see someone saying something violent, say, don't do that. That is.
Hello, as if that's not what every fucking show. Again, I appreciate, Cenk has to defend himself and be like, I hate violence. Yeah. But to be like, this is what the left and the right needs to do. We all need to come out here and condemn violence. I watch a lot of fucking shows. I didn't see anyone actually celebrating this act of violence. Not a single fucking channel that I watch, left, right, whatever. I didn't fucking
Maybe
see
TJ Kirk.
Okay, maybe TJ Kirk. You're right.
He came out with the skull and he was like, I'm going to do a dance with it. And that did create a fucking explosive thing that it was funny. Gavin was like, bro, you have to watch it. And I was like, I figured it was the kind of clip that Gavin would watch because he likes TJ Kirk and grew up watching. And I like TJ as a dude too, but I don't watch a ton of his content. Everybody go watch the TJ Kirk Paul's ego debate. That shit was unfucking hinged. It was crazy. Gavin and I have fucking argued with each other. We have never done that on the show. No. We have never come to real physical blows. Like it would be like, how do you just come back to work tomorrow and fucking be like, dude, you were screaming at each other, fucking saying vicious shit about each other. I was like, clearly, what was worse about that too, not to get too deep into the side, is they were clearly having like problems creatively working with one another, and they just took it as an opportunity to on air in front of their audience just start antagonizing each other. Woo! It was brutal.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest debates I've ever seen. But either way, yeah. I mean, besides TJ Kirk, you are correct to point that out. Besides TJ, I didn't see anyone that's actually a political commentator who's not just like an edgelord online. And I say that with all love to TJ Kirk, but anyone who's actually a political commentator, no, none of them are fucking celebrating this. Everyone said, including us, like political violence is not permissible. It will backfire against you and your movement. Don't do it. This isn't good. At the very most, I saw some edgy jokes. And guess what? I saw a lot of fucking edgy jokes too when Paul Pelosi almost got beaten buck naked with a hammer and his gay lover next to him or whatever. Like I saw a lot of fucking memes about that too. So don't act like you're so above it, right wingers.
Not only that, a verbatim quote from Charlie Kirk was that some American patriot should bail that guy out of jail. Charlie Kirk was making jokes the next morning. What's that guy doing still in jail? Can we not get him on? Can we not get an American patriot somewhere to bail that guy out? That's what he was saying. Oh, Mr. Charlie never did anything to hurt anyone.
100%. So I guess that's basically the majority of the debate between Cenk and Rubin. Pretty explosive clash. Again, I do feel bad for Cenk in that situation because, I mean, like, what are you even going to do if someone's reading you off headlines from your show from 5 or 10 years ago where you're making fun of this guy that just got killed? I mean, what a disgustingly low thing to do. Blaming someone who's in the exact same line of work as you, whose job it also is to make fun of commentators on the other side of the fucking aisle. And you're going to sit here and fucking read off video titles implying that this man, Cenk Uygur, somehow wanted this to happen or intentionally created content to radicalize people into doing it. Meanwhile, again, some people made fun of him, but Cenk actually had one of the more emotional responses to Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah.
He was like genuinely, seemingly emotionally affected by it. Clearly, this is not something he wanted to happen. As I said, he was trying to get beers with the dude. He's trying to become his fucking best friend.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy too, because you're like, I mean, I to try and just have like human empathy with Cenk. I do kind of understand where he was coming from on the day where he was a little more emotional than a lot of other people. He'd met the guy. They had drank beers together. They sat on a stage together, right? So even if it was some like Republican that I didn't have any love for and that I thought was actively problematic, it would still rattle you to just see somebody that you had engaged with as a human being to have their fucking neck ripped apart and blood spew everywhere in front of an audience and captured in graphic detail by a 4K video camera. It totally would that would rattle you, man. That would rattle anybody. Gavin and I were talking about that the same day. It rattled me. I didn't never fucking know Charlie, never liked him, never had a single positive feeling towards the guy. But watching him get fucking killed like that, you mean your stomach gets in fucking, sick. It's just a revolting thing to watch. So I don't hold that against Cenk. What I do hold against Cenk is not holding the line here and acting like the left is somehow equally responsible for political violence. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Every left winger needs to come out here and condemn violence. Oh yeah, like
the people who say we should ban guns.
Yeah, literally, exactly. The people who have consistently for my entire life been begging that we fucking address the gun fucking violence crisis in this country. The people whose, if we had enacted their solutions, Charlie Kirk might still be fucking alive today. In addition to a fucking million toddlers and children that have all, you know, been martyred as well. So I don't know, right? It's fucking disgraceful that he would say that, but I do feel bad for him because, again, it's a real disgusting, low thing to do, to accuse someone of wanting another human dead. I mean, it would be like if someone that we made fun of on the show a lot passed away, and then someone came on our live stream and started reading off video titles where we had made fun of that person, being like, see, the Vanguard wants this, the Vanguard likes this, they fucking wanted it to happen because they made fun of this guy. Like, that would be disgusting. Yeah. And what do you even say to defend yourself? I mean, what can you really say other than just like, fuck you, bro? That's obviously not true.
Yeah. To be honest, it shows what kind of, honestly, guys, I'm going to be real. We, you know, we've talked about how this guy, you know, he understands the YouTube game. All right. And he doesn't give a fuck, as evidenced here. But it is kind of a piece of shit move by Piers Morgan to let Dave Rubin continue to play that crappy audio out of his phone while he's on the fucking show. If I were hosting that, I would have chimed right in and said, David, you're not the fucking producer. Stop playing that stupid shit or I'll mute your mic. That's what I would have said immediately.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. But yeah, pretty spicy. It doesn't look like, you know, despite the fact that Anna infamously said on Piers Morgan's show also that, I don't know, maybe Dave Rubin was right. That was Anna's quote. Maybe Dave Rubin was right. It doesn't seem like Cenk is any closer to approaching that same, you know, realization, Zach. It seems like him and Rubin are still at each other's throats.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there.